Yes, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Morning.
Hi, good morning.
Yes, yes, I hope everyone is keeping safe and sound. Um,
Yes, Anushri, we all are good.
Hi,
Anusri
Anushree,
was
you are on
speaking on
mute.
mute.
Yes, I
Yeah.
think you need to unmute yourself.
yes, so sorry. Just give me 1 minute. Yes. So after a long week of hustle at work, we are all looking forward for the weekend, right? To spend time with our friends and family. So to give this weekend a better start, Team Neewee thought of starting the Friday on a very inspiring note. So we welcome everyone joining us today at the second edition of Conversation at Navy. Firstly, I would like to welcome our co-founders. So welcome Harsimrat, Suyog, Nataraj and Guchu. And for the benefit of those who are attending this conversation at Navy for the first time, this is the second edition that we are conducting today. And we would like to continue this spree of having guests of various walks of life to share their experiences. So the guest for today that we have, as we know, is Yogesh Raheja. So a quick introduction about him before we hand it over to him. Um, Yogesh Raheja is a certified DevOps and cloud expert with a decade of IT experience. He has expertise in technologies such as OS, source code management, build and release tools, continuous integration, deployment, delivery tools, containers, configuration management tools, monitoring, logging tools, and public and private clouds. He loves to share his technical expertise with audience worldwide at various forums, conferences, webinars, blogs, and LinkedIn. He has written books on IT automation named Effective DevOps with AWS, Automation with Puppetfy, and Automation with Ansible, which has been published by John and Wiley and Pat Publisher. He has also received some of the DevOps books for multiple publishers. So without further ado, let me hand it over to Yogesh. Yogesh, if you could talk a few words.
Sure. Thank you, everyone. Good morning, everyone. I hope my voice is audible.
Yes.
I think it's a
Yes,
lovely
loud and
morning,
clear.
right? I think it's a lovely
Good.
morning. So, good morning, everyone.
Good
Good morning.
morning. Very
Good
good morning.
morning.
This sounds to be new.
Good morning.
Perfect.
Yes, good morning.
So, thank you so much. Um,
Good morning.
Before we start, let me begin with my introduction as well. So my name is Yogesh Raheja. I am a CEO and founder of Thinknyx Technology. So I have 3, 4 screens here. So my eyes will go here and there. So please don't focus on my eyes. There are a lot of things running here and there. So, well, before I move on further, I would like to say that I'm thrilled and honored to be a part of this forum. So thank you, Neewee, for inviting me to this forum and giving me this opportunity to share my experience. So how did Thinknyx happen and what's my story? Everything starts from a vision. When I was a student, my vision was just to survive by earning a decent job, a typical middle class thinking. But there were lots of reasons behind this thinking. When I was just 8 years old, I lost my father, and the race of survival started. I was just an ordinary guy from an ordinary tier 2 city who actually started learning alphabets from class 5th. Imagine A, B, C, D. I was from a Hindi medium, right, from Haryana state, wherein we start learning ABC from class 5th. But let me tell you, awesome were those days. Somehow, class 10th done. And a question came, what's next? No one is there to guide, no one is there to suggest. My friends are talking about medical and non-medical, so does I also started thinking about the same thing. And what I did, I enrolled for non-medical. School changed from Hindi medium to English medium, and struggles again started. For new teachers, the guys from Hindi medium are strangers and idiots. I still remember the words of my English teacher. She said, "You will not be able to pass class 12th." And trust me, I stopped attending her classes. And to her surprise, I passed class 12th, and that too by securing the third position in the entire school. She was actually completely unaware of the fact that this guy have actually stood almost first in all of the previous years and was in the top list in the state for last 7 to 8 years. I did my schooling class 5th, class 8th, class 10th from scholarship because I was not having money to go into public schools. So I did my all schooling by my scholarship. And in class 12th, there was no scholarship, but somehow I survived. But again, once class 12th is done, what's next? A new term came into our arena, which is called engineering. We know engineering, but what's that? We don't know. The only thing at that point in time in 2001, 2002, there was only one thing, electronics and communication. If you want to get a job, please enroll yourself for electronics and communication because telecom will going to be in a boom. So this is someone injected in us, and we just started a rat race of getting the engineering admission in the stream called electronics and communication. Luckily, I got one college, and again an ordinary college affiliated to Kurukshetra University, and the struggle again started. But I was so lucky that I stood almost first for my class for almost 7 semesters, and I topped my entire college once in 8 semesters. Now the problem was once the engineering got over, the race started for getting a job. Trust me, I gave almost 20 to 25 interviews for all of the renowned organizations which anyone can dream of, and they all rejected me. You talk about IBM, Tech Mahindra, Infosys, Accenture, you talk about any organization, they all rejected me. And I was like, it's rightly said that the toppers will not going to get a job. And that was actually being happening with me, and I was not able to get a job. And thanks to my first call center job, and again, I should say thanks to Teleperformance, they gave me the opportunity and I worked there for almost 3 months. And then I got to know that people don't want real things. They just want fake things. When you're attending an interview, don't say what real you are. Always say what fake you are. You know A, you tell A square. You know B, you tell A square plus B square equal to AB or whatever. If you say truth, people won't like it. Just say whatever they want to listen. And once you get there, then start preparing and telling your real stories to them. But luckily, I again during my course of call center, I learned a lot of things. How to speak, what pitch should be there, when to speak, when to stop. So I learned a lot of things. So I think I got transformed from tier 2 to tier 1 guy when I joined call center. I got to know the things about modern cities like Delhi NCR because I was from Ambala, so I was not having those quick things as well in me. So I actually learned a lot of things in those 3 months. Then I got an opportunity to work for Wipro Technologies, my first IT organization, and I was very happy. I still remember 7th October 2007, right? And I don't know how I got that job because I think it was 0.0001% chances which I had when I gave that exam. That exam was having C, C++, Java, OPS, networking, and I was not aware of any of those things. But I was doing Jai Mata Di, Jai Sai Ram, all those things. I was just picking the things. And I don't know how I got selected. I went there, but one thing was clear that I don't have to say what real I am. My interview started and I don't know what I was saying. I really don't know what I was saying. Whatever was coming, whatever fake things were coming in my mind, I was just saying that. And luckily I got selected. And then I was thinking, oh my God, if I would have said the same thing to 25-year-old companies, probably I would have got the job. But the good part was the people who got the job in those 2025 organizations, their joining was in November 2007. And my joining was in October itself. 7th October 2007, I got selected, and 21st October 2007 was my joining. So luckily, whatever happened, happened for good. Now, when I joined Wipro, I was very happy. This is the place from where, the dreams begins. But when I actually started working in IT, I started cursing. Why I have joined IT? If you are smart, if you ask questions, if you give suggestions, you will always come in the bad books, especially if you are a fresher. People don't want to listen to your ideas, which have been changed now after 15, 20 years. But if I talk about 15, 20 years back, now when you are a fresher and you are giving a suggestion, people will not listen to you. They will just say you are just a kid. And this is what exactly have happened with me. I was thrown out of my first project. March 2008, sitting on S1 tower of Wipro, 12th floor, and I was crying whole night that now they will throw me out. What will happen to my career? I have been called by my tower head and he scolded me like anything. And that was the triggering point for me. He asked me to give a report on daily basis that what you are doing in the campus. I didn't appear for 7 days. I appeared on 8th day and I said, I cracked my certification for Solaris. He was like this, what? You don't have any exposure. You don't even have a laptop. How can you do that? I said, I have books and I love reading books. Again, I disappeared for 30 days. And after 30 days, April end, I again appeared in front of them. And I said, I cleared my L2 part as well. And then he said, what you are? Now I need to speak to those guys who throwed you out. I said, no problem. I need a project. You give me a project and I'll prove you my capabilities. And luckily I got a project, which was one of the UK based project, a company called Cable and Wireless. And trust me, I got my godfather there, Mr. Alok Roy. So he actually told me what IT is, and he actually told me how a manager should behave and how a manager should look like. Since then till now, if I have any issues, if I have any struggles, if I want any suggestion, I call him. And he actually helped me the same way he used to do 15 years back. It means whatever happened for good. Right? Now, again, after Wipro Technologies, I joined IBM, Fidelity, French Telecom. I survived. And honestly, I survived pretty well. As an employee, I was getting everything which anyone can dream of. Promotions, on-site opportunities, explore to technologies. Last but not the least, a magical message on every 30th and 31st of the month, your salary message. Life was super cool. But one thing was missing. That was happiness. I was not happy. I was not happy at all with the fake smile I was carrying like a burden. And let me tell you one thing. While my working career, I have wrote thousands of blogs. I helped multiple students to actually learn technology, appear for the interviews and crack a job. I helped a lot of people who are struggling to get a job because of layouts. I helped a lot of startups as well. They take a lot of advantages of me. I was working 24/7 for them so that they can get promoted. But luckily, when they become established companies, they just kicked me out. And that was again one of the triggering point. Why to work for others? If you have capabilities, let's do something else and build your own yard. So one fine day in 2010, just a thought. Again, I'm saying just a thought came in my mind. Can I make a difference with my teaching skills, with my implementation or consulting skills? Can I do something for my nation? Can I create employment? Can I at least feed a stomach of at least 20, 30 or 40 people who can proudly say that, yes, because of ABCD company, we are actually in a well-versed position. So this thought came in my mind. And I still remember I opened an Excel sheet and I started creating a website on that Excel sheet. That the company should look like this should be the page, this should be the contact details, and so on and so forth. To be very honest, it was very funny. And in fact, I laugh sometimes when I recall those 12 years old memories. How can a person can open an Excel sheet and start writing things for a website? But this is what actually I did. And I was unaware of the fact that what will going to happen in future, because I was never having a thought in my mind to actually found an organization, because it was just a dream. Then during next few hours, a lot of transformations happened in my life. Suddenly, I don't know what happened, but I started reading books. And that too, not the comics, the books of leaders, biographies, autobiographies. I don't know. I started reading the books for all of the great leaders, from Charles Chaplin to Michael Jackson to Messi to Ronaldo to Sachin Tendulkar to Steve Jobs. You name anything, and even you can see that these all are the books there. If I bring it little close to you, these all are the books I have read. And whenever I feel low, I just pick any of these books and I start reading it. Right, so these books actually, they ignite lot of fire inside me. I don't know how, and I don't know when, but it was a great lesson to know how a tree, or rather I should say, the tree was a seed once upon a time. Whatever we see, where we always talk about successful people, but those successful people have done their journey via multiple failures. And we never talked, or we never spoke about failures. We always spoke about the successful things. Tata, Mittals, Ambanis, all these people. But we never talk about their failures. Their struggles are more than their whatever success they have today. But one thing I would say, that books are really the best friends. Now, finally, after reading all these books, I decided it's better to die with memory than dreams. But I tried multiple things, and I proudly say I failed multiple times. Now, you people will laugh if I say you that I started and did a lot of things in clothing business. I failed. I started singing. I failed. I have a song with Mr. Palash Sen as well. I wrote lot of songs, and I struggled to actually publish them. I wrote a lot of poetries. Yogesh Raheja 007.blogspot.com. You can go there and you can see there are a lot of poetries which I have done, a lot of blogs which I have written there, which are normal blogs. Marble selling, milk factory, construction business. These are the 7 which I remember. And trust me, I failed. I don't know anything about this. Marble, I don't know what M is. I went to Rajasthan and I started exploring that. You don't know anything about this business, and you are actually trying to start this business, you're definitely going to get failed. So I realized that these things are not cup of my tea. So what I need to do? Again, technology came in me. Yogesh, you are good in technology. You have achieved so much in technologies. You have wrote 50,000 blogs. You have more than 50,000 people who follow you. Why can't you do something related to this vertical or this stream itself? Then I decided I am going to stay in the IT only. And the very next day I spoke to my manager and I said, I want to put in resignation. Now there were a lot of dependencies on me. I don't know, either it was dependencies or because I always give preference to my manager. So I don't know what's the reason they didn't accepted my resignation. But it took 2 to 3 years for me to come out of my job. Right? I started putting resignation 2-3 years back, and it took 2 to 3 years for them to accept that and finally release me. But by the time I get out, the Thinknyx was already on the card. Now Thinknyx, again, there is a story to this name. Now this think is think, this N is Navshobh, this Y is Yogesh, and this X is execute. So Thinknyx have been created by 2 people. One is Navshobh and one is Yogesh. So you think, Navshobh and Yogesh will execute. So this was the entire motto. So people used to say, okay, you people are close to IBM. That's the reason you people are saying think, because everything in IBM starts from think. But it's not like that. So the entire motto was you think and we execute. And because it have been founded by Navshobh and Yogesh, that's the reason it's having Navshobh as N and Y as Yogesh and X as execute. So you think, we execute. Now, when Thinknyx came into the picture, then there were a lot of struggles happened initially as well. Reason being, we are self-funded organization, right? We always avoid going to go to the investors and ask them to fund us and so on and so forth. So whatever we have done it ourselves. And trust me, to leave a job is not easy because you are having a lot of liabilities. And some of those liabilities, I'm pretty much sure you might be able to relate it. Home loan, car loan, phone loan, right? Most of us will be having these kind of loans with us. Now you are earning, let's say 1 lakh rupee, and 70,000 is going in your installments. How can you take a risk to come out of the job? And this is what is happening with more than 70 to 80% of the people in the IT. Even this was the case with me as well. But I don't know from where I got the strength, but I came out. And then in fact, actually, I started delivering trainings and taking small projects of my own. So two people, we were giving trainings, we were doing projects, and we were earning money. And we were earning it, we were reinvesting it, earning it, reinvesting it, earning, reinvesting. And when I talk now, so we are a group of 50 people now, self-funded. We have two base locations. One is based out in India, which is Delhi NCR, and one is based out at UK, which is London. We have people now. We have people outside India who work for Indian company. That is one of the proud moment for us, right? We have a lot of consultants who are again the foreigners and they work for India. So these kind of things actually happened in last 7 years, and those 7 years were full of struggles. You need to work 24/7. There is no holiday for you. 16th October 2016 till today, 19th August 2022. I think 20 to 21 hours per day. I and couple of other close member of our company, we used to work 20 hours per day. There is no sleep for you. If escalation is there, you have to be there. You don't have to think you are a founder. If you think you are a founder, you are gone. Your boat will sink. You need to think you are the caretaker of this entire project. You need to take those projects as a responsibility. If you take those projects like, I am a founder, people are working for me, let them work. The boat will sink very soon. You need to take the responsibility. And you need to lead by an example. If you are working 12 hours, you will see your people will also start working 10 hours. Yogesh is working 12 hours. Why can't I work 1 hour extra for my organization? Because at the end of the day, if organization will grow, then the people who are associated with the organization will also going to grow. This thing is not true for big companies. Again, I'll be very honest and I'll be very upfront. When you talk about this thing, when company is growing, a big company will not take care of their employees. But if small or medium company is growing, they will always make sure the people associated with that company should also grow. And this is something which is very peculiar when you talk about startups, small and medium level companies. Now, again, one good thing happened. When I started writing the books, I thought of writing the books as well, authoring the books as well. I was always having one dream. I wanted to do a PhD. But I think after BTech, I enrolled for MBA, but I failed. I didn't give any exam. Then I thought that, okay, I'm not able to do the, I am not able to write the thesis, but let me try writing some of the books. Believe me, I wrote my books on, half of the books I have wrote on Bangalore airport. Whenever I used to fly, you will never see I am watching movies. You will never see I am listening to music. Never. You will always see my laptop is open and I am writing something, or I am learning something, or I am reading something related to technology. Even I was so used to fly. 2017, more than 80 flights. 2019, 18, again, more than 80 flights. So even the air hostess, they used to recognize me. So they used to come, sir. So your pet time. So 5:30, the flight will take off from Delhi and it will going to land at 8:45 on Bangalore airport. So they used to recognize me. Sharp at 6:30, they will bring one black coffee for me, and I used to have that black coffee. So they recognize me very well. That this guy will come, this will going to be his seat, and he will start writing the things. At 6:30, he need this thing. Everything was all fixed. But thanks to pandemic, since last 2.5 years, I am at home. And this is the same place from where Thinknyx have been founded. I didn't went to office today because I wanted to show you this place. So this is the place from where Thinknyx have been founded. Right. So I hope that it can ignite the fire in someone so that you can also think to chase your dreams, not only in IT, but in any other field as well. Maybe writing something, maybe singing something, maybe doing anything else. But yes, this is how I wrote books. So automation with Ansible, Again, I think 10 of the publishers have rejected that we are not going to publish this. There are so many books related to Ansible, blah, 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 all things. But finally, John and Wiley accepted that. And that is one of the top rated books. Now, again, it is little old now because it got published in 2017. But yes, it is one of the most selling book of Ansible. Then I again wrote something called Automation with Puppet and Effective DevOps with AWS. And I'll tell you, things got changed. Instead, I was approaching publishers started approaching me. Can you author a book for us? This is what happened. And since then, I started saying no to them, that I'm not having time to author a book now, because there are a lot of other things which I need to do. And I started motivating my people, the people who belongs to our group, that you should take these opportunities and write something. Again, it's not only every time a founder or a co-founders or the core management people should take a credit. You should boost your people so that they can take those credit, because if they grow, you will grow. People should not have a dependency that Yogesh is there or Kulbhushan is there or Ravi or Yash is there. No, people should know Thinknyx is there as a brand. And again, it takes time. In 7 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, you are not going to have a brand like Tata or Bharti or Reliance. It will going to take 20, 30, 40, even more than 50 years as well. But there is one key thing: focus. The day your focus drifted towards money, right, you will sink. If you do good things, money will always come. And that I am a proof of that. From debt to having a good handsome amount of money in my bank, this all transition happened in last 7 years. Before I founded Thinknyx, again, I haven't shared this experience with anyone, but I think this is a right forum to share it. 2015, one of the worst periods of my life, one of the worst phases. I took one flat in Delhi NCR in 2010 or 11. More than half of my money was going in the loan. And suddenly I got to know that this land is in dispute and I'm not going to get that flat. And I was so much depressed. Reason being, I was not having anything else. Staying on rent, right? Giving a loan for my car, right? Even I don't used to drive car much, but still I used to have, because if some emergency comes, we need to go here and there and so on and so forth. But yes, that was one of the worst phases. And I was in so much depression that I left my home for 106 days. No one knows where I am. Believe me, June 2015, I left my home. 106 days I was out. I did more than 300 to 400 kilometers of trekking. I explored almost every part of Uttarakhand. Kedarnath ji, Badrinath ji, you talk about any spiritual place, I was there. One day I was sitting near to Kedarnath ji, I was sitting on a cliff. The river is flowing and I was just thinking what I'm doing. Shall I jump or shall I stay back? Now you can think what depression can cause. This was my situation and I'm telling you a truth. I think very few people know about it, but I think this is best if you people can actually understand what depression can do. Then suddenly a thought came, I don't know from where, how, that what will happen if I'll destroy my life? Nothing. Can't I help someone so that it can make a life of someone? This is where a thought of teaching came in my mind. People say you are good in presentation. People say you convey your message very well. If this is what people are saying, can't I try it out and try to help those people who are struggling? And when this happens, I came back. October 2015, I came back at my home, right? And things were completely changed. I was altogether a different person. I never gave a priority to myself since then. I always think about others. Now, again, I am a human being, right? Sometimes I become selfish as well. I become angry as well. I fight with my parents as well. I fight with my wife as well. It is quite normal. But again, after some time, after 4, 5, 7, 8, 10 minutes, again, the thing comes in my mind, what I was doing, what will happen by doing a fighting? Nothing. So you need to train yourself. I'm not asking you to become a monk first thing, right? Because if you if you start forgiving everyone, you will become a monk. You will not be a normal human being. But yes, you need to train yourself to be calm in the angry situations, in the difficult situations. But depression can come to anyone. And when you are in depression, try to find out a true friend, true person. Go and pour everything to him or her. If you keep depression in yourself, the same thing will happen which happened with me. You will end up in nothing. If I would have jumped, probably you would not be able to hear my name and I would not be sitting over here. And this might happen. This is just a fraction of moment. In 1 second, it will make it, and in 1 second, it will break it. So when depression comes, don't be alone. Be with someone. If you will be alone, things might get in a different direction. These are some of the key takeaways which I have learned from my life so far. Right? And when you talk about uh, success, now behind every success or behind every successful person, there are a lot of struggles. But there are a couple of key points or key mantras which you need to take care of always. First of all, if you want to become a successful, stop watching a watch. Don't see time. Don't look at the watch every time. This is 5 p.m. Okay, it's 6. Okay, it's 7. Now kaun banega crorepati will come. Okay, now this thing will come. Now that thing will come. No, you will not become a successful person if you keep watching a watch. See here, Mahesh is watching a watch. Right? So don't look at watch. Stop looking at time. Reason being, time will automatically become a good if you stop watching it. Don't think that you have to complete a work in 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. No, just focus on completing a work. Don't tag this completion with time. If you do that, trust me, the 2 hours thing will going to take 4 hours, and 4 hours thing will going to take 8 hours. Stop watching this time. Believe in that, but don't tag it with your vision. Right? Second thing, when you are bad, you have many friends. And you will get many friends when you are bad. But when you become good, right, you start losing people. Because people don't want to see you successful. Trust me, this is very true. When you start uh, keeping or when you start going up the ladder, you will become you get more enemies than friends. So you have to be very careful to choose people when you are growing. This is the second mantra I have understood in my entire journey. Risk. If you want to become successful, you need to take a risk. You need to take a risk. If you will not take a risk, don't think that whatever vision you have, that vision will going to come into a reality. Never. You need to take a risk, but that risk should be a calculated risk. Example, don't invest everything in one place. Assess the things and then invest. But yes, you need to take calculated risks. Right? Third thing, stay away from investors. Always stay away from investors. For first 2, 3, 4 years, they will be very good. They will not ask, but after 3, 4, 5 years, they will start asking the things. And when they start asking the things, it will going to put you people in a trouble. And this is what happens with multiple startups today. 100 startups every day are getting founded in India, and 101 are getting stopped as well. This is true. Why? Because they get the investment and they start, putting those money illogically to everyone. And that is the reason when you see sometimes startup, they are paying 50 lakh to 10-year experience guy. Just think about that if that product will not be successful, they will throw you out as well. And this is what is happening with a lot of people, and they struggle at later point in time. So always remember, stay away from investor unless and until you reached to a level where investment is required. So be very careful. Next thing is stay focused. As I told you, stay focused, because when you are building an empire, your focus will going to drift here and there multiple times. So you need to train yourself to be at a focused layer always, and this will happen. In last 15 years, or let's say when I talk about Thinknyx in last 7 years, I think if you multiply 365 into 7, those many times the focus of our people have been diverted from here and there. But still, someone will come and show us the direction. No, Yogesh, do this. If someone is going there, Yogesh will know we have to do this. So you have to make yourself in the confined group so that if anyone is going here and there, someone should come and direct us. No, this is not our vision. Our vision is this. So you have to stay focused always. As soon as you go away from your focus, you will see in couple of years time, you will be out of the market. This is what happened with Nokia. Leaders once upon a time, right? We will not go to a smartphone. What happened? What happened? They died. And when you again, I would say you please hear the last interview of the CEO of Nokia. He cried in front of the whole press, stating we were not agile, stating we didn't change. Change is something which is very, very necessary, right? So please be agile. Listen to everyone. You don't know who can give you a right thing at a right time. Even it can come from a fresher or it can come from a CEO of any other organization as well. Listen to everyone. Listening is a skill. Unfortunately, in India, we think speaking is a skill. But trust me, there are less people in India who listen carefully. 99% of the people, they just want to put their message on the table. This is harsh truth, but yes, this is true, especially in India, right? Another thing, be humble. You reach to heights, you know it, but don't show it to others. If you are wearing a Gucci or if you are wearing a normal brand, doesn't matter. You should be polite to everyone. Either a fresher is joining your organization or a senior member is joining your organization. You should treat them equally. If you do that, you will see the success will be there in your organization very soon. Now, again, this is very easy to say, but very difficult to do. Reason being, you will be having multiple people also in your organization. And if there is one people who is not following this entire chain, you will see the drastic different results in your organization. And this happened. Even we are seeing that in our organization as well. Right? One person in the chain can destroy everything. So be in touch with everyone, listen to everyone. Don't blindly trust to the feedback of one people. Next, tell your stories to everyone. Tell your stories. Your stories can motivate anyone. Tell your stories. And tell your failure stories, not the success stories. Your failure stories can make more impact than your success stories. Because for your success stories, we have google.com. But for your failure stories, there is no Google and there is no Wikipedia as well. Right? So these are some of my takeaways. If I pour you my journey, so I think I would just say that any word of your any positive thing of yours can change a life of anyone. And if you are making an impact on anyone's life, it means you are actually doing something good for this entire nation. And this is the simple motto I have. And with this, I would like to thank you all. If you wanted to read my blogs or my stupid poetry, you can go to yogeshraheja007.blogspot.com. So I wrote a couple of poetries there. I have even shared some of the Kedarnath journeys, which I told you in that particular place as well. And with this, I would like to thank you everyone for your patience, for listening to me, which is very hard sometimes. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Yogesh. That was rather very inspiring. I'm sure everyone who listened to your story is inspired right now. So thank you so much. Now it's time for question and answers. If anyone has any question to ask to Yogesh, then you may go ahead and ask.
Well, hi Yogesh. My name is Siddharth. I don't have any questions, but I must say I really appreciate your story. It's incredibly inspiring. I'm sure this stories will impact positive ways to our members, you know. And I would agree in most of your things, what you have just said. And one of them is we must definitely must not fear of failures. You know, the only best thing happens out of the failure is learning. I think that's the first building block of make us as a better human beings. And I must really thank for your inspiring words, humbleness and listening skills. What you have mentioned, obviously, I would agree. Those are rare commodities now, and we are going away from real relationships. So I think to be a better human being, those are bare necessities, and people should inculcate, within them, and that creates a real success. But anyways, thank you for sharing your incredibly inspiring story, Yogesh.
Thank
I'll
you so
read your blogs.
Even I would like to share my screen and I would like everyone to read one book. That book have changed my life. And I have never heard anyone saying negative about that book. I'll just share my screen. Give me just 1 second. And that was the turning point for my entire life. This is this book, The Journey Home. Radhanath Swami. So I'll share this as well with you. This is one of the best books. You Everyone should read this. I have actually given this book to almost more than 20 best friends of mine, and I have given the awareness of this book to I think more than 10,000 people. And this is really a good book to read. Trust me, if you read it, your life will going to change. I am again not doing any promotions for any religious thing, but this is one of the best books you can read and you can learn from. One of the best things. Lot of good things, lot of good lessons. Probably you can go through it. And this is what I was actually talking to you about. This was one of my websites, which I was now again since last 2016, I haven't wrote anything. So these were all depression days when I used to write things. So if you wanted to read, you can read a lot of things from here. So I just paste it. Thank you, Siddhartha.
Yes, Yogesh.
Hi, you guys.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Sujit Kumar. I'm working as a business analyst here. So I have a question, like if we are starting a business, let's say initially I don't have any USP, but I'm starting with few services or product. Okay. How can I differentiate myself in the beginning that maybe we are providing in a very less price or within a very less time zone? We can strategize in a different way. But I don't have a USP. In further, like in a long term, definitely we'll be creating USP. But my question is it necessary that in the beginning stage we should have any USP because we are starting it? Like if you can guide.
Okay. So first of all, very nice question. Second thing is, launching a product is not a dead end. It's just a journey. The first thing which you have to do is you need to create your awareness. Now people are aware of Thinknyx since 2016, but the base for Thinknyx have been started from 2007. You need to create your credibility first, because your brand will come at later stages. You as a person will come at a first stage. You need to create your awareness. Now there are 2000, 2007, 2008, there was a company called unixadminschool.com. So the guy was based out at Singapore and I was based out at India. We both used to write blogs. Still, it's there, unixadminschool.com. I think he and me, we wrote more than 50,000 blogs on technology.
Wow.
From that place, the awareness of a term called Yogesh Raheja came into a market. Then I started getting emails from people. Hey, Yogesh, can you please help? We are getting these issues. Then I started. Now, again, the purpose at that point in time was not clear to me. I used to help them because I wanted to learn.
Okay.
Right? In one organization, in one environment, you are having limited challenges. So my vision was to actually explore what other things are. So I used to come on TeamViewer and I used to help them to troubleshoot their issues. And then slowly and steadily, those people started reaching out to us stating, Yogesh, can you please give a training on these technologies to us? And now those people are managers in big organizations, decision makers. Now they come back to us stating, Yogesh, can your team implement this project for us? So it is not a one-day task. It is a journey. And that journey will not going to get started by launching a product. Because when you launch a product nowadays, the IT is too much competitive. You launch a product, if product is good, someone else would be launching a project which is having awareness already in the market. Example, Paytm.
Correct.
Once upon a time, number one. But during the demonetization itself, 20 more online, these kind of applications came into a picture. And now there are many other than Paytm, which are much better than Paytm. Right? So people will not come to a brand initially. People will come to your name. So you need to create a group. With that group, you need to create an awareness. And with that awareness, you launch your product. And again, you need to attract people. This is where open source will come into a picture. You cannot release an enterprise product and you can imagine that automatically the people will come and start giving you the licensing cost. No, you need to tell them how your product is different than others, what value adds you are giving to them, how open you are to share the free code with the people, and then only they will come to you for your enterprise product. This is what most of the major companies are doing, including giants like Red Hat, AWS, Microsoft, Google. Right? These all companies, they give their open source product first. They do the entire awareness in the market and then they start capturing the market. Example, google.com. Right? Now, again, just 24 years old company. 1998, this company came. Right? And now you cannot live without google.com. But that doesn't mean there are no other search engines available in the market. There are many. But google.com is unique because they have created that impact. And I'll tell you one thing, just imagine after 1 year, if Google will start charging for the search, we are so habitual to it that we are going to pay money to them as well. And this might be a future. Trust me, this might be a future. If google.com is down, half of the IT will be down because entire development happen using google.com. Second thing, your Gmail. Tell me any person who is not having a Gmail today. Everyone. Now there are many other email providers available, but still we trust Gmail. Now it is having every data of ours with them.
And we are paying for it as well.
And we are paying for it as well. Right? So they gave Gmail to you initially. Then they gave you a storage, 15 GB hard drive, right? 15 GB Google storage drive. Now, if you have more than 15 GB data, you pay to them. This is business strategy. Even google.com, they gave everything, like Siddharth said, they gave everything free of cost. Now you can take it as a service as well. For enterprise organizations like Office 365, you can take Google products as a service, Gmail as a service. But it took 20 years for them to reach to this stage. So everything need investment. And investment doesn't mean money. Investment means your time investment, your name. And earning a name is more difficult than earning a money.
True.
Right? So this is a simple mantra which I have followed, Sujit. So 2007 till 2015, I was doing all those awareness. And since then till now also, I used to be in touch with a lot of people. It's not always about money. It's always about awareness as well. So I go to a lot of forums. I go to a lot of universities and I try to motivate people so that they can do best in their life. And ultimately, if example, let's say Sujit become a CEO of ABCD organization after 10 years, right? Now, after 10 years, when you will sit somewhere, you will think, okay, my company is a development company. Now, Yogesh's company is a cloud company. Let me outsource this work to Yogesh. This is how this entire chain happens. Trust me, this is how this entire ecosystem works. There is one organization, there are three clouds, AWS, Azure, and GCP. The bid is happening, but AWS is having a good old relation with the customer. Now Azure is providing less pricing, but still AWS will win the race. Why? Because relation matters a lot.
Okay, Yogesh, is it always relation or is it always business that if we are getting any product or service as a very at a good price or cost?
Everything plays a vital role. Example, let's talk about a lollipop. You are having one Alpenliebe lollipop and you are having one normal, normal factory lollipop. If it comes to your child, you will never give that factory lollipop to that child. You will always say, I want a quality. And you will always give a Alpenliebe lollipop to your kid. Yes, no?
True.
Right? It means everything comes with all mixtures of each and everything. Your brand, your quality, your price. So it's not only relation. It's a blend of everything.
Absolutely true. Yeah.
I hope.
Thank you, Yogesh.
Yeah, no
Thank you.
problem. No problem.
Thanks again, Yogesh.
So I think this team is sitting in a same cabin.
Yes. Yes. So thank you so much again, Yogesh, for your inspiring words and answering all the questions so patiently. Uh, then thank you all for joining, and we will continue this conversation and Neewee again someday. So thank you all for joining. Thanks again, Yogesh. Have a good day.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much,
so much.
everyone. Have a wonderful
Thank you,
career.
everyone. Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Yogesh. Thank you, team.
Thank you.